Welcome to the 4th annual Grifties and the first ever live Grifty Awards. And now for your hosts, Uncle Hotep and Hotep Jesus.
Yo, no George, but I can't even breathe in this joint.
That's fucked up. He working on that Coon of the Year award.
Black people, am I right?
We've got some great categories tonight, including athletes.
We'll say what's up to your dad.
Season's COVID-19.
Who did you want? Hamlin? Hamlin's a sleeper. Hamlin's a sleeper.
Female, musical, celebrity, people's political grifty, the Hall of Fame, and a surprise category.
Y'all see we professional. We got the teleprompter and shit. And of course, the one everyone is waiting for, Grifter of the Year award.
From podcasts to movies.
DJ Protocol.
Yeah, DJ, that's the time to do it.
This is not a grift. I really think Lil Nas X is a gay demon.
How dare you?
Unlike most modern award shows, none of these women have penises.
Women shouldn't speak anyways.
Y'all picked the blackest room for a black. Paint the walls white so I can see y'all next time.
All coons look alike to me.
Some of you white people too. Some of y'all look like you came from 8 Mile.
We're halfway through, no one's been shot yet.
But I'm going to say at the Grifty Awards, there's only one person more arrogant, more self-assured than me, and that's Hotep Jesus.
Grifter of the Year. Clap it up for old Uncle Hotep.
Hopefully my kids will watch this and be inspired and stuff like that.
Fuck them kids.
I'm looking for my wallet. I'm like, oh, thank God he didn't take it. Thank God.
It's Big Brain Friday, and the Grift Report starts right now.
2, 1, boom. Hotep Jesus.
Of all the Jesuses I know, he's the Hotepiest. Social scientist and YouTube host, Hotep Jesus.
How the fuck do you get a name like Hotep Jesus?
The one and only Hotep Jesus.
Ryan Sharp, better known to the world as Hotep Jesus.
Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Somebody said, what do you think you are, some kind of Hotep Jesus?
Ooh,
and
that's
I was
good.
Just like, ooh, that's sexy. Yes, I do think I'm Hotep Jesus.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to the Grift Report, live Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern. I'm your host, the Grift God.
Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
Hotep to the chat, Hotep to the Hotepistanis.
Hotep.
What's up, fam? It's Friday, Big Brain Friday. Welcome back, everyone. We done made it. We made it through the week, another week. It's hot as you know what today. 95 degrees here in sunny New Jersey. Went outside a couple of times today to get my UVB rays. If you guys, tomorrow at 2 p.m., the Minister Inky interview, part 1 in full, will be released on this channel. If you're new here, hit the subscribe, hit the like button. We're talking about protein and muscle growth. Very important, especially for our people taking Apex, all of our Hoteps hitting the gym. Also, anybody in the community, you can comment or chat. Let us know if you have any connections to prisons, as Dr. Inky would love to get his books into the prisons and educate some of the incarcerated on science and chemistry. Lauren's in the house. Renee is in the house. Steph Colonel, Oz, Sauce the Prophet, Strong Dad, DJ Protocol, the official DJ of Hotepistan, is here from my high horse. Angeli is here. Renee, Steph Colonel, Haram Life, our sister podcast, is here. Did I say Heather already? Heather's here. Jay Pylon is present. What's up, fam? What up, Dre? Hotep in my eye. To the chat. Wonderful, wonderful presentation lined up for you today. Put together a beautiful presentation for you today. We're going to have some fun. We're going to learn. We're going to get some introspection done today. But first, We got to cleanse the timeline. We got to cleanse the chat. Strong Dad June, message of the day from none other than the Strong Dad. Listen to what he got.
Strong Dad June, day 21, and today I want to talk about one of the crimes of the tongue that prevent a man from being trusted. And this is not keeping his word. Now, this can start off innocent. You can be a forgetful individual. You could be a poor scheduler. And this is not inherently a crime of the tongue when you tell someone something and don't follow through because you forgot. When it becomes a crime of the tongue is when it is a practice process over time to not rectify these scenarios, right? So for myself, a pretty forgetful guy when it comes to certain things, I send myself text messages. I put myself on the hook by writing things down in my vision so I can see it. Whatever it is I can do so that I can learn to keep my word better. Now, when I stop doing that, I am willfully committing crimes of the tongue. So when you stop intentionally, when you tell someone you're going to do something, even though you know you aren't going to do it or may not do it, you might find that there's nothing wrong with that inherently. But spiritually, there's a lot wrong with that. You just made a contract that you are not fulfilling willfully, and karmically, you are on debt for that. And if you believe in God, you are on debt for that. And if you believe in Ma'at, you are on debt for that. If you believe in anything, you are on debt for that. So please, for the love of God, all of us, let's practice keeping our word so that people can love and trust us. Happy Strong Dad June.
I love that message. A man who does not keep his word cannot be trusted. A man who does not keep his word is not a man at all. If you say you're going to do something, damn it, you better do it. You better do it. But he's right. It falls into two categories. One is, probably three. One is the willful act of, not keeping your word. And the other one is, or I guess the other two would fall under accidental, maybe unwillful. But what? All right, so let's start with the first one. The first one will be, I guess you could say irresponsible or unorganized. Sometimes people say they're going to do something, but it's just because they forget. And that's because there's something wrong with their organizational patterns, organizational systems. And they do not set the reminders, write things down, et cetera, et cetera. The other one is just, you say you're going to do something, but you can't fulfill it, and you just fall off. And you might even mean the best, but you just suck at being a man. So great message today from Strong Dad. Absolutely love that. Now it's time for the Men of Water moment of the day. Hotep Yatu Saves, yeah, let's give him his wrench back. Thank you for the reminder. All right, boom, done. Welcome back. Keep your dog away from your phone. I am I've consumed my Apex and my Flowpex today, as always. So feeling really good, feeling very intellectual, but we still got to do it. We still got to look at the dating pool. This is very important. I don't know if people understand this, but with the gender wars and the attack on the nuclear family, we got a lot of young men in the chat who are going to date, who are going to get married, who are going to have kids, and we want to help them do this successfully. This is one of the most important topics. Even the women in the chat, this is one of the most important topics we could talk about, is the proliferation of our genes. Let's take a look at this clip.
I'll have you take that. What's your name?
My name is Chandler.
All right, so we got a couple of red flags here. First of all, Chandler's not a real name.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Whose mama named, who was the woman that named this man? Chandler. Chandler? bro, you got to go down to the office and get that name changed ASAP. ASAP. Chandler? That's a no-go. That was a bad idea. Now, we've got to take a look at his fit. His fit is not it. The flannel and that t-shirt and these jeans. He's like a black hippie and not the good type. So they say don't judge a book by its cover. I'm going to go ahead and judge this book by its cover and see if I'm correct in saying that this guy is probably going to come off as a dweeb. He needs some coaching. This brother right here, he needs some coaching, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, we all are at different points in their life, in our lives. And everybody needs coaching, so let's take a look.
Chandler?
Yes.
Okay, and Chandler, how old are you?
28.
28, and what do you do?
I'm a fraud analyst. So I just look at customers' accounts, make sure that their fraudulent use of their account number, just pay them back if it's a fraud case. If not, I just deny the claim off the evidence I found.
Oh.
He got a Democrat University black accent. It's not a good look at all. Also, he's a fraud analyst, which means he's definitely on the spectrum. He's definitely of the geek type. Thank you. He's not, it's not exactly going to be deemed the alpha male. Many women are going to pass up on this, unfortunately. But let's take a look.
Okay, pretty cool.
Yeah.
And what are some things you look for in a woman?
Yeah, just kind of like my other half, you know what I mean? Someone that compliments me, someone that's, by my side, definitely loves me for just me, you know?
Okay, that's nice.
And he don't even know what he want in a woman. He don't even know what he want in a woman. This is a huge red flag right here. Fellas, before you even start dating seriously, you have to know the qualities you are looking for in a woman, and they must be specific. Okay? For example, I would like a woman who is well-versed in human biology. Okay? That means understanding human chemistry and understanding what is it that should and should not go inside the human body. This is the number one duty of a woman. Everybody talks about making sandwiches and cooking. I'm talking about understanding human chemistry, biology, what belongs in the body, what feeds gut biome, and what destroys gut biome. This is a skill women must have. There's studies going around now. People are talking about where black men who are married are dying at an earlier age than their white and Asian counterparts. And it is my supposition that this is because black women do not understand the human chemistry. You have white women feeding white men a white diet, and you have black women feeding black men a white diet. You must know your man's biochemistry and know what food belongs in his body, and therefore know what belongs inside the child's body after you guys begin to procreate. So this is very specific, and these are things that when you are looking for a woman, vetting a woman, you must know what you want. Steph Colonel says 0 out of 3 right out the gate. Yeah, he's striking out already. Yeah, EMP. This is crazy. This is crazy. Shout out to my Rumblers Rumbling. I'm trying to do a better job on there. EMP says, nice job on the PT pod. That episode was hilarious. Oh, I was crying. The episode was hilarious. Before I even got on there, I was crying. Let's go back.
Nice. Yeah. Now, what are some of your deal breakers?
Definitely like kids with multiple men.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Let's give a point to Chandler. Let's give Chandler a point. It's one thing to have kids. I remember I was talking to this chick once, and we were vetting each other, and I knew she had kids. I think she had 2 boys, and I didn't think nothing of it. But then she said, Those are two different baby daddies. Oh, you got two baby daddies? It's two niggas I gotta worry about? It's a big no for me. So I like that. Good job. Point for Chandler.
And just closed-mindedness, you know, not willing to just try new things and, you know, just be spontaneous.
Okay.
I like that. 2 points for Chandler. Chandler's coming back. Good job, Chandler. You know, if you ever want to identify a woman with father issues, daddy issues, closed-mindedness is going to be a major one. Particularly, you can sniff this out with when you go to correct a woman or provide constructive feedback, aka criticism. You're not allowed to use the word criticism. It's not constructive feedback, according to the woke. But criticism, when you criticize a woman, what is her response? I remember a woman made a post once. She said something about it was a black guy and a white guy in a bar. And they were talking about, you know, what would their relationship be like if this were, 50 years ago. And she said, if it was 50 years ago, you guys would not be hanging out. And I responded to her. I said, don't let Hollywood make you believe that whites and blacks were not hanging out. And her response was, okay. So if a woman that can't be taught cannot be wed.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
A woman that cannot be taught cannot be led and therefore cannot be wed. Book of Hotep 3:16. Write that down. Type that in the chat so we all remember it. A woman that cannot be taught cannot be led and therefore should not be wed. Okay? So you got to look out for that.
Yeah.
All right. So we did get a couple of pop balloons.
Of course.
Let's go over to just a few of these ladies, see why they ended up popping their balloons.
Sure, of course.
Now he's completely, she said there's a couple of pop balloons and he says, of course. He's okay with that. So so far, Chandler's coming back. I got Chandler 3-3 right now. Let's go.
Of course,
Okay,
of course.
let's start over here. We can have your name and age and why you ended up popping.
My name's Kayla. I'm 23.
Hi.
I just popped it just because I don't like your outfit.
Sure.
I like your face. I like your height. I like everything about you. Like, if you had something different on, I would definitely be like, pick me.
So,
but, yeah.
My next question for you is, what kind of outfit would you expect me to wear? What would you?
Not
She's right though. His fit is trash.
a flannel because it's hot as shit outside.
Definitely,
and then,
definitely.
other than that, maybe if you would have just took anime, not that either.
Oh, this nigga walk around with anime on his shirt. Fellas, the only place you could wear your anime shirt to is the gym, Comic-Con, and around the homies, okay? Dating, show, nah. Now, if you gonna rock the anime shirt, you can do it. However, you gotta know how to rock it. First of all, you gotta look like Goku.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
The muscles, your muscles got to be right to rock the anime shirt. You got to look like you fit. From what I can tell from Chandler, it doesn't look like he's hitting the gym. It doesn't look like he's taking his Apex. But if he was hitting the gym and, had the anime shirt, and the anime shirt is just a bit baggy. But if the anime shirt was fitted and he had some muscles and he didn't have that flannel on, it would be, you'd be able to get away with it. But, flea market anime shirts, that's a huge no-go.
Pokemon.
So that's a deal breaker?
No, I don't know. It's just.
Now, her fit is trash, too. Her fit is absolutely trash. Let's analyze her fit. What's wrong with her fit? I'm going to tell you the problem with her fit. First of all, she got on this OnlyFans. What's the name of that brand? All the OnlyFans girls wear. She got on this Temu dress. But the issue is, and ladies, you know this, you got to accessorize. She doesn't have a watch. She doesn't have any bracelets on. There's no chain around her neck. She looks broke. So her fit is, it's not it. It's just not it.
It's childish, but if you would have probably took the flannel off, maybe.
Sure.
It would have gave a little bit more, but you making me hot standing in front of me, so yeah.
Sure.
Fashion Nova, there you go. Yeah, Fashion Nova. She got the Fashion Nova OnlyFans dress on with no accessories. She didn't accessorize. You know, leaves a lot to be desired.
But that's it.
No worries.
And your name's Chandler.
Yeah.
It's
She picked up on it.
so
Like the city.
interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it.
No worries.
Yeah, Chandler, that name's a no-go.
Thank
Better
you.
off here. I would have, yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, is Kayla someone that's your type?
Yeah, actually. Yeah, I like the braids. Very beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, tattoos are cool.
Thank you.
She's definitely someone I would.
Tattoos are a no-go. Tattoos are no-go. Huge red flag. A woman with tattoos is dealing with some trauma. And what's that psychological term for when people inflict pain upon themselves as a form of release? I forget what it's called, but yeah, that's what's happening here with the tattoos, especially no arm tattoos, no tramp stamps, you know. A tattoo should only be visible to your man in the bedroom. If it can be seen publicly, it's a no-go.
I would approach.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's go over to another lady. We're going to skip around. If we can have your name and age and why you ended up popping.
I'm Lex. I'm 23.
Lex thick as shit.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
Man, she got badunk.
And you're just not my type.
No worries.
Like, your whole aesthetic is just not, it doesn't fit me.
Sure. No
So,
worries.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I be sounding out of touch with the youth because I am.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
You little niggas don't know shit.
That's cool.
Okay. All right. And now is Lex someone that you would approach?
Yeah, no, she's beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you.
Love the hairstyle, love the dress. Tattoos are cool. Yeah, everything's cool. Yeah,
Thank
she's
you.
cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Ugh, tattoos on her knee. Ugh. Looked like she was wrestling. Should look like a bruise. Like a streetwalker.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
Definitely.
Thank you, Lex. And
So there's our dating lesson of the day brought to you by menavoided.com. Menavoided.com, fellas, hit the gym, get your apex, get right or get left. And you know, the late, great Kevin Samuels, right? There's a lot of things, bad things I can say about the brother, but I don't like to talk about the dead. I did have the pleasure of sharing a podcast space with Kevin Samuels, and this is on the Fresh and Fit episode. And Kevin Samuels described himself as some sort of fashion consultant for men. And he was very particular about what he wore. And you always saw him with these, you know, expensive suits, et cetera, et cetera. So what you wear is definitely, you gotta figure out your aesthetic, right? But your aesthetic should not be bum, right? It should not say child. It should say grown man, right? So I like to dress like a Jamaican drug dealer is the aesthetic I go for. But at least that is definitely somewhat in well, it is my age group, right? So let's be mindful of how we dress, fellas. I gotta say, Hotep Boulay, he dresses very well as one of our fellow Hotepistanis here. Yeah, knee tat is crazy. And he dresses very well, and we were consulting Tari on his clothing, and Tari is someone who dresses like Chandler. Tari, there you are. Tari, yeah, we've got to work on your dress. I know you're from Ohio, and there's only one store in Ohio, but we definitely got to work on your. You say Hotep dress like a drug dealer. Hey, image consultant. There you go. Some of y'all might need an image consultant. I don't know. But yeah, fellas, how you look is very important. It's even in the 48 Laws of Power. Dress like royalty. Okay. Anyway, it's time for everybody's favorite segment, Grifter of the Day. Now, many people have been very critical or upset at my usage of the term woke right. And I've told you before that you can be right and not be woke right. And you can also be left and not be woke left. However, today we have an example of the woke left. And in this example, basically what makes you woke left is grifting over the speed limit. Finding something to be offended about where there is nothing to be offended about. And a lot of this comes to jumping to conclusions based upon your emotions. And today's grifter is somebody who has, I don't think I've ever spoken on this individual on the show, Bishop Talbert Swan. Bishop Talbert Swan has entered the WNBA grift, the Caitlin Clark grift. And he responds to this tweet. And it says here, first rookie guard to have multiple double-doubles in a season in 17 years. Make Caitlin Clark a 2024 WNBA All-Star. Okay, and it says vote at feverbasketball.com/vote. And Bishop Talbert Swan says, notice they carefully worded this rookie guard. Angel Reese averages a double-double and just made WNBA history by registering her 7th consecutive double-double against the Dallas Wings, the longest streak ever for a rookie. Now, he's so triggered by the woke right that he has become the woke left. Now, ordinarily, I would agree with him. I'd say, yeah, how come, they not talking about Angel? However, Bishop Talbert Swan, this post is from the team she plays for. This is the official account of the Indiana Fever. Why would the Indiana Fever talk about a player that's not on their roster, Bishop Talbert Swan? You see, I call it out on all sides. I find the grift on all sides. And this is just disgusting. And what did he do? He turned off the comments. He turned off the comments. You can't reply. You should have deleted the tweet, Bishop. You should have deleted the tweet. This is what happens when you get emotionally invested and you don't just take a second to woosah. Take a second. Just take a couple of deep breaths before you react. And then use your brain and go, well, what's the account this came from? Oh, it came from the Indiana Fever. That's the team she plays for. Oh, okay. It makes sense that they're talking about Caitlin Clark because she's on their roster. They shouldn't talk about Angel Reese. But here we go with these woke left grifters. And now I have to defend Caitlin Clark. This is where we are. But again, Objective Hove, a.k.a. Hotep Jesus.
Hotep Jesus?
Has to call out the BS on all sides of the political spectrum. Now we have another grifter who was grifting during the pandemic. Now, I told you guys before, many of your right-wing organizations mandated the jibby-jabby. They mandated the punch. Some of them even called you a dope for not taking it. They called you a dope for not taking the dope. Well, it seems like somebody has had a realization. They've had a nigga wake-up call. I think this is Sean Hannity's nigga wake-up call. Let's take a listen.
I'll just bring you back in my own personal experience. The amount of pressure that was brought to bear on me to push my audience into taking a vaccination was inordinate. It was not something I had brought to bear on me to push my audience into taking a vaccination. Own personal experience, the amount of pressure that was brought to bear on me to push my audience into taking a vaccination was inordinate. It was not something I had experienced before. I've experienced a lot of political pressure in my life. The other thing was, for me to give everybody my status. What is my status? Are you vaccinated or have you gotten COVID? Everybody wanted to know my personal business. And by the way, Mr. Attorney General, I probably would have gladly shared it at the time. However, once they were demanding I share it, I was like, screw you. It's none of your business. I have my own personal, I believe in medical privacy. with all due respect to all of you. And so I didn't tell anybody, but what I said to people on the air, and I'm so glad that I didn't give in to their pressure, not that there was any threat that I would, but I said to people, I don't know anything about your health. I don't know anything if you have pre-existing conditions. I don't know. I have no idea if you have comorbidities. I have no idea. I'm not a doctor. I don't know anything about this shot. I was not qualified to tell people what to do. I didn't know. But what you're telling me is they didn't know either, or they just flat out lied about it.
So I take that back. It's not a real nigga wake-up call. But I only have one question. Pressured by who? Who pressured Sean Hannity? Was it the network? Was it colleagues? Was it listeners? Was it media? Was it family? These are the questions we need answers to. Now, I don't really give a shit about Sean Hannity's vaccination status, but I am quite concerned that there was pressure, and a lot of people felt this pressure from various different sources and places and entities. And we warned you. We warned you that, well, this is the woke right. The woke right was so woke that this is what they were pushing. They wanted you to not only reveal your status, but for you to go ahead and take the inoculation. You said it has to be a network or colleagues. I would guess that's probably true. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. Okay, we are in the beginning stages of the truth coming out around some of the talk surrounding the vaccination. And in the future, I would say next 2 to 5 years, a lot is going to be revealed, and a lot of people are going to pay dearly for their contributions to that conversation, the negative contributions to this conversation. I'm happy Sean Hannity did not succumb to the pressure. Means he can somewhat be trusted. Now, I don't know much about Sean Hannity. I know a lot of people are critical of Sean Hannity, but at least he didn't buckle to the pressure. At least he didn't pull one of those maneuvers like Lil Ben, like Lil B. Lil B told y'all you were a dope. So did the pressure come from Daily Liar? Was the pressure coming from people like that? Was the pressure coming from people like Lil Ben? Who was the pressure coming from? Pharma? Maybe. Wait, what Goldstein say? I couldn't help but notice they dropped a COVID-19 plug on your stream. Yeah, once you type in certain things, they're gonna get that. I knew that would appear on the stream. I figured somebody would spot that. Uh-oh, we got Inky in the house. Dr. Inky is here. Dr. Inky said it has to be the network of the colleagues. Let's go ahead. Everybody, throw some flowers in the chat for Dr. Inky. You're going to see, we're going to have a initiation ceremony. We're going to have to get his papers stamped by Goldstein. Goldstein is head of immigration for Hotepistan. We're going to have to go ahead and start working on his papers. Inky, we're going to welcome Inky into Hotepistan.
Alhamdulillah. This a real Hotep.
The interview with Inky drops tomorrow, 2 p.m. It's already scheduled and up there. Many of you that came from the conscious community, 125th Street, Harlem, and all of that, y'all should be familiar with Dr. Inky. If you're not, well, you're going to get very familiar within the next coming weeks. Go to Amazon, type in Dr. Inky, science, chemistry, Buy all of his books. I got 2 today, came in the mail, started reading them already. Valuable information. Valuable information. Yes, Inky, gotta get you a wrench. Gotta get you a wrench. So when we talk about Hotepistan, and we talk about the science centers of Hotepistan, we got Dr. Inky, we got Dr. Tanai Ricks, who will be heading up the science division of Hotepistan, where we develop extensive research into biochemistry, into food, because we're going to need food to survive, and make sure everybody is healthy in Hotepistan and there are no weaklings in Hotepistan. So we're proud to have Dr. Inky a part of Hotepistan.
This a real Hotep brother.
Absolutely. I'll be live with Dr. Inky tonight. His channel is Hotepistan University. Yes, sir. I'll be live on his channel, American Healer, tonight at 8 p.m. on his channel. So make sure you guys tune in. He's going to interview me in his channel. This is an absolute honor. Somebody that learned from Inky and the rest of the guys over in the conscious community. So it's an absolute honor to be on his channel tonight. It's going to be a fire conversation, so make sure y'all tune in there. Mel's animation domain said, if there's a book you say I buy. I know it's going to be filled with gems. Dr. Inky's got a bunch. I got 2 of them today. Cost me about a total of $100. They're about $50 a book. And I'm telling you, I read about 10 pages today in about 10 minutes. And mind-blowing information. Great information. Okay. Jay's World said the interview was fire, 10 out of 10. Yeah. So if you're a member, you got first access to the Inky interview. If not, you're going to get the redacted, edited version tomorrow at 2 p.m. These are the perks of being a member of the network. Speaking of wake-up calls, Hotep Goldstein has tipped this off to a wake-up call. Now, if there's a nigga wake-up call, is there a cracker wake-up call?
This a real Hotep brother.
Is there a Peckerwood wake-up call? A Caucasian white wake-up call? A European wake-up call? A Yumnaya corded ware tribe wake-up call? Let's take a listen.
All right, y'all. So me and you, we're the normies. We are the fucking normal people. We're the ones who built this damn country.
Now, she fucked up right there. She says a lot good and a lot bad in this video. First of all, the last thing you want to be is a normie. If you're a normie, you know what that means? Andre K just gifted 20 Hotep Jesus memberships.
This a real Hotep.
That's love. That's love. Spreading the love in the chat. Spreading the love in the chat. You don't want to be a normie. A normie would have been one of the ones pressuring Sean Hannity.
And we have these fringes on the far right.
So she's you can tell she's just entered the fray and is unaware. But let's listen.
And we have these fringes on the far right. We have the fringes on the far left. That they all have their little clubs. They all have their little cliques. They all have their little catchphrases. And they both fucking hate me.
So she's getting a nice warm welcome into the right wing. Keep in mind, she got famous for saying the N-word. And she thought, oh, wow, I said the N-word. Now I'm popular. I'm going to go into the right wing and I'm going to be accepted. And she was like, wait. There's a bunch of different factions and clubs and clans and cartels. Should have consulted
Hotep Jesus
before you tried to grift.
They both hate me because I represent you.
No. You don't represent us. You try to get famous for saying nigga. That doesn't represent us. That represents the wokies. That represents the normies. That represents the small brained.
Because we're normal. Because I don't want to join your gay club. Because we don't want to be a part of that gay shit. We're just normal people who work and pay taxes and get shit on.
Now, everybody in Hotepistan, do we accept being normal? Thumbs up in the chat if we accept being normal. Thumbs down if we don't and we seek exceptionalism. Thumbs up if you're a normie. Thumbs down if you seek exceptionalism. I want the chat to weigh in. Are we not trying to seek exceptionalism?
The government shits on us, the far right and the far left shits on us, and ultimately no one gives a shit about fixing this country because they're so busy. It's a circle jerk.
Not Live said upset that things didn't go her way. Full Karen mode. Exactly. She's imploding. She's imploding.
They're so busy trying to, appease their own and stay in the good graces of their own and get famous and whatever, that they don't care about America. That's why
She gets it. It only took her a week of getting dragged to understand what's happening here. The far right and the far left are full of grifters that don't care about the common good, don't care about America or Americans. The only thing that they care about is themselves. And we've been saying this forever. That's why we created the Grifties. Go watch the Grifty Awards show on Hotep Nation channel.
nothing gets done in this country because they're so busy fighting amongst themselves like the little fucking pussies that they are, that they don't care to do actually anything about changing the country. They like to talk about how oppressed we are. Oh, they shut down our venues. Oh, they're all racist. White supremacy is the biggest danger in this country. Sure, you dumbass. Meanwhile, me and you, the normal people who went to college, we didn't buy into the
normal people that went to college. Normal people that went to college. College has fucked your brain up in the first place, Miss Normie. That's the place that fucked your brain up, Miss Normie. You know where you should got your education at? 125th Street.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
YouTube University.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
The Grift Report.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
Hotepistan.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
Dr. Inky.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
Project Rook.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
Dr. Tanai Ricks.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
Patriot J.
Oh, this a real Hotep
That's where you should have got your education from. If you wasn't going for a hard science law, should have stayed your ass out of the temple.
The woke cult. We're normal. We've got common sense. We're getting shit on by everyone. Republicans are just as bad as Democrats. They're all the same. That's what I have discovered in this whole thing is that.
Oh, you just now fucking discovered this. You just now discovered that the Republicans are the same thing as Democrats. It only took getting dragged across the internet for being a single baby mama to realize that. That's what happens when you grift over the speed limit.
That they're all the same and they don't give a shit about us. So I am forming an alliance of normal fucking people. We're not Puritans. We're not Bible thumpers.
Oh, she found out about the Puritans. Chat, thumbs up in the chat if I told you about Puritanism. If I told you about the Puritans. Thumbs up in the chat if you remember that.
We have the courage of our convictions. We're just normal ass people. And it's time for us to stand back, take the country back, and stop listening to these losers on the far right and the far left. They're all losers.
They're all losers.
I'm amazed. I just walked into a certain of these groups and I was like, wow, loser, loser, loser. They don't have any life outside of Twitter.
Ma'am, you walked into that with open arms and a smile on your face. And now you're upset because you got rejected because you didn't pass the purity test. That's what happens. That's what you get for trying to use the N-word to get famous.
That's why they're so obsessed with me. They're like, oh, she got all these followers overnight. She must be this or must be that. And all it is jealousy. You bitches are fucking jealous. No. They're not jealous. They're not jealous. That's not what it is. What it is you got famous for doing nothing. And they checked your ass for being a grifter. You're just mad because your whole life is all about Twitter. Your whole life is all about your followers and your engagement. I don't give a shit about that. I'm just a normal person. I've gotten...
Yeah, exactly. That's the audience she wanted. That's the audience. That's the audience she thought she wanted.
Thrown into all this shit. I didn't choose this. I didn't ask for this. And you fucking pussies can't stand to see a normal person succeed. You can't stand to see somebody who's not going to come and lick your ass. I'm not interested in being part of your club. Your club is gay.
You was interested last week. You was interested last week. You didn't pass initiation. You didn't pass the rites of initiation. You didn't pass the rites of passage. You didn't pass the purity test, sis.
And so are you. So are you. I almost said it.
Now, see, that's why I said when she first went viral, she wasn't just supposed to just jump in and go to AFPAC and all these things. She was supposed to survey the land before she jumped headfirst in. Now she's starting to smell the flowers.
Anyway, us normies.
So she said she wants to start this new group of normies or whatever. That, remember I told y'all last week, that's what she was supposed to focus in on? Or was it the week before? Has it been a whole week? It's just been, she's only been famous for like a week. But that's what she should have did from the beginning. Instead of trying to grift and hop in and join some fringe group, you should have started your own thing. You should have started your own brand. This is some of the tips I was giving her before.
The frat boys, the normal girls, the boat people, we drink a beer, we have fun, we love 4th of July. We're American patriots.
Now that's the big brain conversation we're going to have today. American patriots. We're going to break that down. Yes, we are. Inspired by my rant at the end of the show last night with Uncle Hotep. Hotep's Been Told You, episode 313. If you haven't watched it, go watch it.
We're just normal American patriots, and these fringe groups, these gay fringe groups, don't give a shit about us. So we're forming a new alliance. It's us against them, motherfucker.
Chat. 5 stars if you think her movement is going to be successful. 1 star if you think it's going to be unsuccessful. From 1 to 5 stars, how successful do you think her new movement's going to be? 1 star. Or if you want to go into the negative, you can put trash cans. If you think it's going to be ultimately trash, you could put trash cans in the chat. If you think her movement will falter, will fail. She should have just kept it tweets. The videos just expose her as not knowing anything. Yeah. Absolutely disgusting. We're going to go big brain. We're going to talk about the West. We're going to talk about America. But first things first, this next segment, sponsored by Super Dap. I'm seeing a lot of trash cans in the chat. Someone will jump on a bandwagon. Yeah, that's true. Someone. I don't know if it'll be anybody of value. Let's go to the fam. Bro Godzilla became a Hotep initiate.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
Kamar Daniel, $20 super. What up, Kamar?
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
Kelson with the $50 super.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
Kelson, $50 super, says a few shekels for the pot. Get the likes up. Hotep and Build. Yes, hit the like button. Shout out to Kelson. Strong Dad said her realization is mind-blowing because she showed up on the scene pissing off black people, and we're the first who had that realization.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
Ben told him about the woke right. She should have came over here and gave me 45%. I would have been her manager. It would have been a 25% tax for saying the N-word, 20% tax for the management fee. Anyway, today's Big Brain Conversation is sponsored by Super Dap AI, powered by Syscoin. Follow Super Dap AI on X, on Twitter, Super Dap AI with 2 P's. And if you like talking about money, you like talking about investing, join our Telegram group. The link is in the description box below. Please do not share it publicly. This is just for us. It's just for the Hotepistanis. Slavery has been a conversation this week. Obviously because of Juneteenth. Ashley St. Clair has shared this video. Let's take a look.
The first point is that everyone had slaves, okay? People of all colors became slaves for economic reasons, because of war, because slavery, as odious as it was simply a normal way of life. Arabs were extracting millions of black African slaves centuries before Christian nations did, for about 13 centuries, compared to the 3 centuries European nations ran the Atlantic slave trade. Arabs marched African slaves across the Sahara Desert, and as such, they died more often. It was customary to castrate them, and many died from this practice. The Arabs also enslaved over 1 million white European Christians. The term slavery, in fact, comes from the word Slav. The Slavs inhabited Eastern Europe and were taken by the Muslims of Spain in the 9th century. Not to mention that Africans had been enslaving each other for thousands of years. The point is that slavery, the second point is that slavery was not about race, and that's important. It was not about race. The only reason we think it's about race is because philosophers like David Hume in the 18th century ranked human beings and put Africans at the bottom, saying that they had no souls. The Enlightenment imposed the concept of race on a practice that had been going on for centuries in order to justify that practice. And why did they have to justify it? And this is the point. Because people in the West began to question slavery's moral validity. The fact is that people of all colors owned slaves, both as part of the Atlantic slave trade and outside of it. In the United States and Caribbean, black people owned thousands of black slaves, and so did the Native Americans. Nearly 20,000 of the Native American 5 civilized tribes sided with the Confederacy during the Civil War, fighting to keep slavery alive. 28% of the black population who were free in New Orleans pledged their support to the Confederacy. All of the 13 southern states of the Confederacy had substantial numbers of black slave owners. There were more than 250,000 free blacks, and nearly 4,000 of them were slave masters, who owned more than 20,000 slaves. The practice of slavery was legal, after all. We need to remember that governments did not own slaves. Slave owners did. In fact, the US government fought a war to end slavery. How much should the descendants of the 400,000 Union soldiers who lost their lives fighting to free the slaves pay to the descendants of the slaves they freed? Giving people lump sums of money does not work. Economists often point to the Georgia Land Lottery of 1832, in which parcels of land were distributed randomly. What happened to the descendants of those who were lucky enough to be given this land? Are they the richest families in Georgia? No. In fact, within one generation after the distribution of the Georgia land, one could not distinguish between those who had been given land and those who hadn't. Certainly my own direct experiences of working for 20 plus years in the inner city with families on welfare demonstrates this time and time again. Rather than give a man a fish, it is always better to teach him how to fish. All giving the fish does is make the giver feel better. Reparations might relieve white people of their guilt, but it will do little else.
I found a contradiction here already. She said in the beginning slavery had nothing to do with race. But now she's talking about white guilt. Seems like a bit of a contradiction, but I'll give her the benefit of the doubt.
So back to my initial question. Why are we only discussing whether the West should pay reparations for slavery? Because while slavery was common to all civilizations, only one civilization developed a moral revulsion against it very late in its history, Western civilization. Not even the leading moralists in other civilizations rejected slavery at all. Rather than be ashamed as Westerners, we should stand proud for having led the world out of a mentality where slavery was the norm, and we should vote against this motion. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you just listened to was a bunch of fake news.
Oh, this is a real Hotep brother.
It's fake news. Now, she was cooking until the end, right? The issue is they equate reparations with monetary payment. And I've said in the past, it doesn't have to be monetary payment. It could be the abolition of taxes for the descendants of slaves. Okay. Also, we said Dems must pay, not white folks, Democrats. And when I think of reparations, I don't think of slavery. Republicans go out of their way to say Democrats have ruined the black community. Well, it's time we get a fucking refund because we've been paying taxes to the state. We've been paying taxes to the municipality, to the counties, to the et cetera, et cetera. And we have been getting destroyed by that. So the reparations technically is just a refund. We need a refund on all the tax money we've paid and deferment, actually complete abolition of any further tax payments for the next 3.5 generations. Because we've been electing people who are supposed to have our best interests but have done nothing but destroy us. It's not that reparations need to be paid for by white people. It's the fact that we have not been getting our money full. Now, that's not the thing I came here for. Says Ashley St. Clair here says, while slavery was common to all civilizations, only one civilization developed a moral revulsion against it. Western civilization. Rather than be ashamed as Westerners, we should stand proud for having led the world out of a mentality where slavery was the norm. And that is fake news. Sorry, Ashley, that's fake news. In fact, I do believe I have a video on this. Let's take a look. I'm going to type in Hotep Jesus slavery here, and I think it's in the Patriot Report series. Let me see if I can find it. Let's type in Hotep Jesus Patriot Report. And I think it's in that series somewhere. Okay, here we go. Here's the Patriot Report. Let's see. Here we go. So right here, Stephen Birmingham. There's this video called Slavery Was Not the Reason for the Civil War. Now, I'm not going to play the video. I just want to come back and I'm going to show you an intelligent person, Ken Thoreau rebuts. And everybody should know this. This should be common information, right? Common knowledge. He says slavery was abolished in Christianized Russia in 1720. In 1861, Alexander II of Russia freed the serfs almost 2 years before Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, but somehow the West was leading the way? Now, let's go and type in American slavery abolishment. And I think it was 1865 or 1864. 1865. There we go. 1865. Now, before that, we have 1861, which is, you would type in Russian serfdom abolished. And this one should be 1861. Here we go, right here on February 1861. Now, let's ask the AI who sided with the North during the Civil War. Let's see if we can get it right. And it can't. It can't. It's not been taught to because we have so much fake news. So let's type in Russia let's type in U.S. Civil War ally and see what happens. Right here. Okay, it says right here. Let's put this up on your screen. The AI hasn't received this information yet. This is from the wiki page, Russian Empire, United States relations. And this is why I say you have to study Russian history. You got to study the Bolshevik Revolution. You got to study Russia. If you want to understand the West, you have to understand the East. It says right here, did Russia support the U.S. in the Civil War? During the American Civil War, Russia supported the Union, largely because it believed the U.S. served as a counterbalance to its geopolitical rival, the United Kingdom. In 1863, the Russian Navy's Baltic and Pacific fleets wintered in the American ports of New York and San Francisco, respectively. So what happened was the Union was surrounded. I believe it was the British were in the north and the French were in the south, or I might have those reversed. I can't remember. And Russia was basically saying, look, y'all not finna jump in. We're going to make sure that the ports are clear so that supplies can get in and out of the Union, and you guys aren't about to just dominate them with your Navy and your fleets. And it was Russia that came to the aid. Which comes back to, why did Lincoln free the slaves? Well, the reason why Lincoln freed the slaves and why Alaska was purchased from Russia as repayment for help during the Union, during the Civil War, was because Russia had already abolished serfdom, aka slavery. So Lincoln, what he did was he wanted to have a gesture to the Tsar and say, look, we're just like you. We're going to abolish slavery. That's part of it, because the Tsar and the church, as you can see from, let's pull this back up. Is a very orthodox Christian society. They had abolished it in 1720 in Christianized Russia. So 100 plus years prior, they already got rid of slavery. So this was a gesture to Russia because they came to their side as an ally. So people tell the lie that America freed the slaves because they were the good guys and they realized it was wrong. No, this is about war and winning war and having allies. And it wasn't the West that led the way for the abolition of slavery. It was the East. It was Russia. And this is why they demonize Russia to this day, because Russia has always led the way. They've always been ahead of the West in many different ways. Not in every way, but in many ways. Even when they turn their back on Russia in various excursions and skirmishes in the Middle East and Africa and the East. Okay? So don't let them fool you about this whole the West abolished slavery because they were good and they thought it was wrong. That's Houghton Mifflin. That's Rockefeller education. That's university bullshit. Okay? Go get my book, The Patriot Report, on HotepJesus.com.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
This is all detailed in there. I made sure to include this because, as you know, the bankers were behind the Civil War as well. Knights of the Golden Circle. I've told you guys about that probably exhaustively. Okay. So now everybody knows the truth about slavery and why the West should not take credit. You are fake news if you spread that lie. You are historically illiterate if you tell that lie. You are a normie. You are the woke right. You are a fraud. You are ignorant if you keep telling that lie. Which leads us to our feature presentation today. In order to do a feature presentation, you know what's going to have to happen? We got to pull out our trusty slides. Okay? Let's fix the slide on your screen here as we begin to extrapolate what exactly does it mean to be an American? Right? We're talking about America and slavery and the West and all this other bullshit, right? Let's put this on your screen. This is from a previous presentation. Okay, hold on. All right, here we go. So, right here, we're going to place this. Hold on. Copy that. Let's bring that over. Let's close this. Let's close that. We're going to pop this in here. What does it mean to be American? Everybody see that? Actually, let's get rid of that. What does it mean to be an American? Okay. Last night on the show, people were surprised to hear what I had to say in regards to the Middle East. They said, Hotep Jesus, you support Israel? And that's why I want to talk about this today. Jabari said Russia is America's secret half-brother.
Oh, this is a real Hotep brother.
Let's really talk about it. Let's really talk about this. What does it mean to be an American? Now, if you're a jingo, if you're one of these patriots, you're about to be offended. If you're an American patriot and you have cognitive dissonance, I'm going to offend the shit out of you. So just leave now. Leave now before you get your feelings hurt and you're mad at me. and you run back to Twitter and tell them why you should cancel me because of cancel culture, make up lies about me, or whatever it is you guys plan to do. In order to understand what it means to be an American, we've got to create a binary program. On one side, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the legal meaning of being an American. Okay? So there's a legal meaning of being an American. And then there is, and then we'll go to phone lines after this. I'm not going to spend too long on this. It should be easy to understand. And on the other side, we're going to have, I'm going to use the term conceptual. Conceptual idea of being an American. Let's bump this up a little bit here. Let's make that bigger. All right. And then you have the concept, the conceptual idea of being an American, right? So you have the legal idea of being American and the conceptual. Okay. Now, what do these things mean? Well, it's very simple. Legal, we are going to interpret as intellectual. Okay. Legal is going to be an intellectual identification with the concept of being American. Okay. This is intellectual. All right. Conceptual, what's the opposite of intellectual? Chat. Emotional. So you have a connection to America. You either have a legal connection to America and or HG, I need all your books. How much for the 3-piece combo? You got to buy them piece by piece. I'm sorry, bro. I can't do a bundle package. Maybe Amazon will do a bundle package for you. I don't know. Okay. So you have the legal and the conceptual. Now, some people are both. Some people are both and have both an intellectual and an emotional connection to America. Okay. So over here would be, a citizen, right? You're a legal citizen, right? Whether naturalized and born on this soil or immigrated, got your green card, and, you became a citizen, right? Like the parents of Robert Ramaswamy, a.k.a. Vivek. And then emotional, you have something called a patriot. Now, in order to become a patriot, what you have to do is you have to gobble up fake news. Your brain has to accept fake news. Part of that fake news is what we just discussed, this concept of the West eradicated slavery. These are the pieces of fake news they implant in your brain to create a patriot so you can support something that does not exist. Now, people say, Hotep Jesus, you identify as an American? Yeah, I identify intellectually and legally as a citizen of the United States of America. If I get stuck in Colombia somewhere, I'm going to the U.S. Embassy because that's how things happen legally. Conceptually, I do not have an emotional connection to America, except in a few moments where they play these games, right? These games, Caesar has these games, okay? And we should probably put this in here, right? Let's call this reinforcing nationalism. Okay, and this is a game that's being played. What games are played every 4 years that reinforces nationalism, that keeps people in a conceptual, emotional state to practice patriotism? Chat, can you help me out here? Every 4 years, they trot out their gladiators, and they have something called, which comes from Greece, the Olympics. Okay. The Olympics. This is this creates emotional connections between you and your nation for the purpose of reinforcing nationalism. This is a cooperation amongst nations that says us as separate governments practice so much bullshit and piss off our citizens so badly that every 4 years we are going to need to reboot the program. We are going to need to reboot patriotism. We need to refresh patriotism. So they have something called the Olympics. So if you're from Russia and you go see the gymnastics, you go, yay, Russia. If you're from America and you see Sha'Carri Richardson going out there and she running on the white man's track. Shout out to Sha'Carri Richardson. I love her. Love her to death. Want to see her win. God bless America. All the bullshit. God bless America. This is the moment where race starts to fall away. People don't see race. They go, that's our team. That's America. That's the U.S. So they play these games to reinforce nationalism, to create this conceptual and emotional connection to the concept of being an American. Okay. To reinforce this idea of a patriot. Okay. So now what enters the conversation that makes everybody shiver and quiver in their boots and fidget is the great nation of Israel. And people go, Hotep Jesus, you support Israel? And immediately I go, oh, you guys have an emotional connection to the game. You guys have an emotional connection to the game. I don't have an emotional connection to the game because I'm historically literate. Shout out to Shaka Akmos. I don't have that connection. I'm thinking about things from a legal standpoint, from an intellectual standpoint. As a legal citizen with a binding contract with the United States government, with the entity called the United States of America. So when you talk about Israel and the aid going to Israel, you can either think about this from the emotional standpoint, or you can think about this from the intellectual standpoint. If you think about things from an emotional standpoint, you go, America's for America. Our funds, we shouldn't be funding Israel. But the problem is America don't even really exist. It's just a concept. It's just a corporation. I look at it as a corporation. You guys look at it as a concept. But this concept only exists in your mind. They've done nothing right by you. Your government has never done anything right by you. We've talked about the Ludlow Massacre. We've talked about the Whiskey Rebellion. Okay. We talked about all the various crimes, the installment of several central banks, one of them destroyed by Andrew Jackson. The Federal Reserve Bank. They've done nothing righteous by you. Yes, it's a great experiment. Meanwhile, I'm thinking legally and intellectually. I'm thinking like an intellectual. And I go, well, I don't have an emotional connection to America. I have an intellectual connection to America. So I say to myself, how is Israel born? And we went over this last week on how Israel was born. Israel is the child of, let's put it together here. Let's just, for the sake of brevity, U.S. and the U.K. Right? These two help create Israel. These two help create Israel. Now, the U.S. is nothing more than a peripheral nation of the U.K., aka the British Empire. Israel being the same. In order to understand this concept we talked about the other day, you got to go look at Cecil B. Rhodes and his work to proliferate the British Empire across the globe. The crown, yes. Okay. So we help create Israel. We send money to Israel every year. Am I upset that we are sending money to Israel every year? No. Because I understand that this is all one thing. Intellectually, I know that the United States, the United Kingdom, and Israel are operating as one entity, aka the West. Western civilization. Now you have an emotional connection. If you're Israeli, you got an emotional connection to Israel. If you're a Brit, you got an emotional connection to UK. Now you're a Brit and you're like, oh, I love Britain, I love British. Why are they sending all the Muslims here? Why is the head of our nation a Muslim? Why are these Indians? Why are these immigrants? Because you have an emotional connection to your country. Meanwhile, the people operating the West have no emotional connection. They have an intellectual connection and don't look at these things with their heart. They're looking at it in their mind. What's going to be best for them? You said we send money to UK every year too. Absolutely. Absolutely. Cecil B. Rhodes was a Rothschild cutout. There you go. There you go. So you're looking at the U.S. as separate from Israel. You're looking at the U.S. as separate from the U.K. But what happens when the royal family has a wedding? What does the United States media do when the royal family has a wedding or a funeral? Every media outlet shuts down, cancels all programming, and across all channels, CBS, ABC, BBB, the Heebie-Jeebies, BET, don't matter what it is, they all cover the royal wedding. Why is that? Because this is daddy. The UK is daddy. That's where this all begins. All of this begins. Now you might ask yourself, well, why? Why Britain? Well, in order to do that, let's take a look at the map. Okay, here we go. Let's put this on your screen. So here we have a map of Europe. Okay. I'm going to show you right now how Britain became to be the world power based upon geography, not intellect, geography. So when we look at the European countries, what do we notice? Well, we got places like Slovakia, landlocked. Austria, landlocked. Switzerland, landlocked. So we have to go back into a time before there are airplanes, before there is an air force. And basically what happens is, if you are connected to another country, let's say you're Germany, well, you have to worry about France on one side, Italy and Austria on another side, Poland on another side. Okay? You got to worry about Russia. So you don't have time. If you guys ever played, I think it's called Civilization. There's a bunch of different games like this. But you notice that if you're in the middle of things, you got enemies on all sides. So you kind of want to start on the outskirts and then push your presence into the middle. But when we take a look at the United Kingdom, what they have is they have a geographical advantage. How are you going to get your troops from the mainland to the UK? The UK is an island. They have a geographical advantage. So you got to move your troops via boat, then land safely in Britain in order to invade. Age of Empires, there you go. That one too. Conflict of Nations, there you go. So they have a geographical advantage. And you know, Britain had a massive navy, a successful navy, okay? So while all these nations are warring and being attacked, they can't focus on expanding. They can't focus on expansion. They're trying to hold on. How can you focus on expansion when you have to focus on sustaining? Britain doesn't have that problem because they're an island. They're an island. So they can focus on expansion because I'm going to see you coming. By the time you get on your boats, my lookouts will be like, hey, they coming with the boats. I'm going to hit your ass when you coming from the sea. We had the same thing happen with Rome and Persia, right? I mean, I can get into that, but if you go look at the geographical, the geography between, it's actually on the screen right here. You'll see Italy right here, right? And they could see the Persians coming, right? They can see the Persians coming from the water. They can see them coming from the Black Sea. They can see them coming from the Mediterranean Sea, right? Because the Roman Empire extended all the way out here to where it's like Bulgaria and all of that, right? Roman Empire even at one point extended out into Turkey and whatever, right? But Britain has this advantage where they could see you coming. They could lob bombs and what do you call them? Catapults. So by the time you land, half your troops are decimated and you're not going to win. Okay. So this is why Britain ultimately becomes the world power in Europe. Not because they were great, because they had a geographic advantage, but more important than having a geographic advantage, they didn't have a geographic disadvantage. They didn't have a geographic disadvantage. So it's not about them being great. It's not about them having advantages. It's about the lack of disadvantages. Okay? Lack of disadvantages. Germany surrounded all sides. France surrounded on all sides. Italy surrounded. Right? Well, Italy technically the Roman Empire extended along, so that's a whole other story. But anyway, it depends on what the borders were at what period, and we don't want to get that deep right now. So, in finality, we're about to go to the phone lines. Text Hotep your name at 202-596-5631. Text Hotep your name at 202-596-5631 to get on the phone lines. In finality, what does it mean to be an American? So I got to ask you, where are you in this equation? Do you have an emotional connection? If you have an emotional connection to America, you know what that means? Do you know what this means? It means you're illiterate. It means you're historically ignorant. It means you don't know shit. You wave your flag, God bless America and all this shit. And the older you are, the more jingoism is coursing through your veins because of lack of information, because you were born with the TV. You grew up with the dawn of the TV, the television that brainwashed you. Okay. Your education system, your Rockefeller Board of Education, et cetera, et cetera. You were taught by Houghton Mifflin. What's the other one that the Houghton Mifflin, and I forget the other one that we all got our books from in school, right? Which created this concept of patriotism. But the issue is, they didn't tell you. Maybe if you took AP history, they told you, but they didn't tell you about Oh, wait, we got one from Cornell University. Oh, no, I thought that was it. No, I almost got happy there. I should have known better. They didn't tell you about the Round Table movement. They didn't tell you about the Round Table movement, which came out of Lord Milner's kindergarten. So let's take a look. Of course, you got to study the Boer War, South Africa, right? Now, a lot of that is fought between, I believe, the Dutch and, here they call them Uitlanders, and these are quote unquote natives, et cetera, et cetera. Let's see. Let's see. Hold on. We might not find the information. Because Milner was definitely focused on South Africa. We might have to go to Cecil B. Rhodes to find what I'm looking for here. And again, Wiki's not the best place. They're going to omit a lot. Okay, here we go. English mining magnate, politician in South Africa who served as prime minister of the Cape Colony from 1890 to 1896. He and his British South African company founded the South African territory, Rhodesia, now Zimbabwe and Zambia. Right? But Rhodes studied under a dude named, let me see if we can find the Rhodes-Haskin connections. I might have to look at this up at a later date and get these together for you. So let's go back. I'll make that connection. I still have to do some more research. I'll put that connection together for you. Okay. But I'm looking for the Illuminati here. Hold on. Ruskin. I'm sorry. I said Haskins. I'm sorry. John Ruskin. This guy right here. If you want to understand British power, this guy right here is who you got to study, right? So they talk about the Jews, the Jews. All right, look at this guy right here. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what it says here. Okay. Now, another thing he understood was the power of culture. This guy, Ruskin, he understood the power of Ruskin. Look at this. It says the museum was part of a wider plan to improve science provision at Oxford, something the university initially resisted. Ruskin's first formal teaching role came about in the mid-1850s when he taught drawing classes. Okay. At the Working Men's College, established by Christian socialists, Frederick James Furnivall, Frederick Denison Maurice. Although Ruskin did not share the founder's politics, he strongly supported the idea that through education, workers could achieve a crucially important sense of self-fulfillment. Now, something we got to understand about socialism is not a Jewish thing. This is an English thing, and it's a lot of white men. In fact, culturally, Britain was very socialist. They were very anti-capitalist. Before Ruskin comes about and inspires Cecil B. Rhodes, inspires Rothschild, he's the inspiration for this concept of using corporations for conquest and extending the British Empire. Okay? Ruskin. Okay? And he's going to do a lot of this by inspiring through the arts. So when people talk about the Jews and the Jews' monopoly over slavery, right? Jews' monopoly over banking, Jews' monopoly over money. It's not because Jews were great at it, even though they are. It's because Britain and the British didn't believe in it. In fact, in some of the early British colonies, competition was outlawed. If you had John Breadman, I just made that name up. Everybody got their bread from one man. Advertising was outlawed. They wouldn't let you, if you advertised, you got stoned and flogged. So advertising, capitalism, this is not something that was part of European culture. This is something that was practiced by the Jews and many other whites as well. And I won't say it was, all Jews. But the fact of the matter is, Britain was very socialist in its early days. And Ruskin's trying to fight that. He's trying to say, no, we've got to move into more capitalist concepts. Okay, here we go. Ruskin authored several works on political economy. Ruskin's social view broadened from concerns about the dignity of labor to consider issues of citizenship and notions of the ideal community. Now, at this time, Britain is very much, we're going based upon nobility, and, lower class is lower class, nobility is a nobility. And he's like, nah, we want to create a middle class, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, just as he had questioned aesthetic orthodoxy in his earliest writings, he now dissected the orthodox political economy espoused by John Stuart Mill based on theories of laissez-faire and competition drawn from the work of Adam Smith. Now, Adam Smith is the gentleman who wrote The Wealth of Nations. Okay, another 1,000-page book that you have to read. Okay, so he says right here, based on theories of laissez-faire, right? This is free market. Okay, David Ricardo, we've talked about him. Thomas Malthus. In his 4 essays, Unto this last, Ruskin rejected the division of labor as dehumanizing, separating the laborer from the product of his work, and argued that the false science of political economy failed to consider the social affections that bind communities together. He articulated an extended metaphor of household and family, drawing on Plato and Xenophon, to demonstrate the communal and sometimes sacrificial nature of true economies. For Ruskin, all economies and societies are ideally founded on politics of social justice. His ideas influenced the concept of social economy, characterized by networks of charitable, cooperative, and other non-governmental organizations. Non-governmental organizations. Okay? I'm going to look for another part here, and then we're going to go to phone lines. I don't want to spend too much time on here. And I haven't read this. This is all live right now. Okay. This is probably important. Lectures in the 1860s. Ruskin lectured widely in the 1860s, given the Ready Lecture at the University of Cambridge in 1867, for example. He spoke at the British Institution of Modern Art, the Working Men's Institute. His widely admired lecture, Traffic, on the relation between taste and morality, was delivered in 1864 at Bradford Town Hall. Okay. This is his later life. Hold on. And I'm going to go back to the overview in just a second. Hold on. All right. I thought it was going to be on this page. It's not, wiki. Hold on. Now look at how big his wiki page is. Look at how big his wiki page is. And many of you never heard of this guy. HJ going deep. I'm out here in Central Eastern Africa watching the European Football Cup. Shout out to the Cup. No Toe says the stream is fire. Thank you, bro. So if you want to be smarter, if you don't want to be a jingo, and you want to understand Western civilization, this the guy you got to study. Mr. John Ruskin. Okay. And I apologize for not remembering his true name. That's my fault. I will wear that. Okay. Ruskin wielded a critique of political economy of orthodox 19th century political economy principally on the grounds that it failed to acknowledge complexities of human desires and motivations. He began to express such ideas as the Stones of Venice and increasingly in works of later 1850s, such as the political economy of art, blah, 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 blah. At the root of his theory was Ruskin's dissatisfaction with the role and position of the worker, and especially the artisan and craftsman in modern industrial capitalist society. Ruskin believed that the economic theories of Adam Smith, expressed in, I just told you, The Wealth of Nations, had led through the division of labor to the alienation of the worker, not merely from the process of work itself, but his fellow workmen and classes, causing increased resentment. He argued that one remedy would be to pay work at a fixed rate of wages. What does that sound like? Fixed rate of wages. because human need is consistent and giving quantity of work justly demands a certain return. So he's like almost like a hybrid socialist capitalist. He's kind of got some good concepts, but he's still the Western mind is still evolving, and it's going to come off of his work. The best workmen would remain in employment because of the quality of their work. Okay, a focus on quality growing out of his writings on art and architecture. The best workman could not, in a fixed wage economy, be undercut by an inferior worker or product. Okay. So, people talk about, the Jews and socialism. Nah, socialism was embedded in the minds of these guys. It's embedded in their minds. And he's trying to break out. But at the time, they're still dealing with nobility. They're still dealing with monarchy. So they're trying to move into capitalism, and socialism is sort of like, a medium or a halfway point before they start to embrace capitalism or laissez-faire capitalism. So you saw them embrace laissez-faire, right? And then you also saw them say fixed wages. But that's because the nobility was calling the shots on how much people are paid. So he's trying to move out of that, right? So we can't really fault him for being, for acting as a socialist, because it was common during his time. Now let's go back to the top really fast. And let's just see what we got here. You got the Guild of St. George. Yeah. So let's do John Ruskin and Cecil Rhodes. Let's see what happens. Okay. So here we have a blog. It says Cecil Rhodes and British expansionism. Okay. Now we're going to type in, well, there it is right there. Let's see. Okay. Listen, for instance, to the words of John Ruskin delivered in 1870 as part of an inaugural lecture, right? So Ruskin inspires this guy. Now, what do we see right here? What is this? You see his hand, chat? Chat, do you see his hand? What does that mean, chat? When you see a man with his hand tucked in his coat, what does this mean, chat? Have a great weekend, Heather. What does that mean, chat? Exactly. This is what I was looking for in the wiki page. Okay. This is what I was looking for. $ Hotep Jesus. Thank you. He got the blicky. Okay. So we're starting to see some connections. Okay. So here you are with an emotional connection to an America, but it's a small club and you ain't in it. Okay. All right. The lecture was delivered not long before the 18-year-old Rhodes sailed to South Africa to stay with his brothers for reasons of ill health. So I'm just trying to draw the connection here between Cecil Rhodes and Mr. Ruskin. Okay. And this is a nice short blog you guys can read here. I'm not going to go into too much detail. Okay, all right, let's read this. Here's something good, right? Early on in 1872, he wrote a will that left a fortune he hadn't quite made yet, but confidently expected, to the Secretary of State for the colony, stating that it should be used for the empire's expansion. In 1877, he made a second will specifying that his forthcoming fortune should be used to form a secret society, the true aim and object whereof shall be the extension of British rule throughout the world. This is what I was looking for this whole time. I'm glad I found it. Throughout the world, and especially the occupation of British settlers on the entire continent of Africa, the Holy Land, the Valley of the Euphrates, the islands of Cyprus and Candia, the whole of South America, the islands of the Pacific, not heretofore possessed by Great Britain, the whole of the Malay archipelago, the seaboard of China and Japan, the ultimate recovery of the United States of America as an integral part of the British Empire, the consolidation of the whole empire, and finally, the foundation of so great a power as to hereafter render wars impossible and promote the best interests of humanity. It says here, this remarkable and preposterous document did not become public until after his death. Surely the reaction would have been bewildered laughter. In 1881, Rhodes was elected to Parliament of Cape Colony as a member of Berkeley West, near Kimberley in the colony's northeastern corner. He began working toward expansion to the north into what would become the Protectorate of Buchananland. He saw this as a Suez Canal opening of British trade. Don't forget, Brits bought Suez Canal. We know the controversy around the Suez Canal now. I'm not a hater. I don't just say things to be a contrarian. I don't just wake up and say I want to piss off the woke right. I am culturally and historically literate. Noel said, HJ, this is dangerous. Yes, it is. That's why I only have 273 people in here. Okay? HJ, you got to provide a leading list. If you want the reading list, it's in my book. It's in my book. If you got the Patriot report, you open up the Patriot report, okay? At the bottom of every page are citations of every book I read to put this together. If you want the reading list, it's in my book, HotepJesus.com.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
I'm not hiding this stuff from you. It's right there. You ask for the reading list, it's right there at the bottom. My citations, there's over 286 citations in this book. And they're all at the bottom of the pages. No matter what page you go to, you'll see citations. If I cited something, if I say something, it's a citation. That's why the name of the book is called the Patriot Report. It's not really a book. It's a report. If you get the Patriot Report and you look at my citations, you will have the reading list that I have. You will have the information that I have. If I was, you think I could sit here all day and just tell you every book I read? No, that's why I compiled the report. So you would always have the list. So you would always know where to get the information. She said, I use a copy of the Patriot Report in my homeschool curriculum.
Oh, this is a real Hotep
sister. Brother. You know what I'm saying? So when you say you want the reading list, and that's why you see it right here. It says Patriot, right? You see it here? You see Patriot? I named it the Patriot Report because that's who this was for. If you are on the conceptual side, if you're on the emotional side of the American argument, I'm trying to bring you over to the intellectual side with the Patriot Report. That's literally why I wrote it. Because I'm looking at the timeline and I'm like, yo, all these people don't know. They don't know what. They don't know. Okay, I'll do the homework and I'll put together a report and I will show them everywhere this is documented. And I'm talking about, Adam Schlesinger, The Occult Technology of Power, millcenter.org. Huh? Like, it's all there. It's all there. So you don't need it. You just need to get a copy of the Patriot Report and go read what I read. And then you'll be able to, I told people, if you want to debate America, Israel, Palestine, you only need to get one book. And this book will lead you everywhere if you follow the sources. KB says, the Patriot Report is fire, should be required reading in all schools. I forget what university it is, but there's a university that picked up Unbreakable Rules of Masculinity and another one. Matter of fact, the Patriot Report was at Yale. I got an email from a professor at Yale who read the Patriot Report, and they tried to get me a lecture, but it didn't go through. After today's presentation, you know why it didn't go through, why they wouldn't let me speak there. But Yale, a professor at Yale emailed me. Actually, they contacted me on LinkedIn. I'm sorry. They contacted me on LinkedIn. If I had time, I'd go through and I'd show you that. But my LinkedIn, it's a mess. I got fucking messages, and this was years ago. George Osei said, HJ, you got to warn them. The Patriot Report will make you sad. If you have an emotional connection to America, the Patriot Report will make you sad. Yes. It would destroy your whole fucking world. Too hot for him. Yes. It was way too spicy for him. Okay. Okay. But Yale picked it up. Professor at Yale picked it up. Two years of research. Only 2 years. It only took me 2 years of research to put that report together. And then I featured it on the Joe Rogan podcast. And that's how I come to my conclusions. So when people say, oh, you support Israel, I'm like, where do you want to start? Let's go to the phone lines. Text Hotep your name to 202-596-5631. I'll be right back in about less than 60 seconds.
Envision a sanctuary where community and sustainability are the cornerstones of living. In this haven, every family is able to grow their own food, children flourish through homeschooling tailored to unlock their full potential, and education extends beyond textbooks, instilling self-worth and a deep understanding of the world around them. Here, goodwill isn't just an ideal, it's the essence of daily life, where respect for law and order harmonizes with the community's resourcefulness. This place isn't just a dream, it's a call to action for everyone who believes in a better, more connected way of living. Join us in building a future where each individual's contributions create a tapestry of enduring harmony and prosperity. Join us in Hotepistan.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We got Goldstein on the line. Happy Friday, Goldstein.
Happy Friday.
What's good with him, bro?
Man, missed the show last night, but I caught it this morning.
Okay, what'd you think?
Fantastic as always.
Thank you.
You guys left John B off that R&B list.
Oh shit, John B was fire. That boy should sing. We did leave John B off.
Man, fucking John B. Yeah, this whole notion that fucking Western civilization ended slavery, well, they're just one of, like you pointed out, one of various cadre, if you will, of individuals and societies that abolished slavery. But if you really want to go way back, just look up Wang Mang from the 9th century.
What is it?
Wang Mang.
How you spell that?
W-A-N-G-M-A-N-G.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that
we
fool
talked
did
about
his
this.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you brought this up
9th
before. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of big on Japan or Chinese history,
As you
like
should.
how you are with the financial sector.
Mm-hmm.
One day I might write a Patriot Report style book on China. Always been fascinated with that.
I'll read it. I can't wait to get into my China studies.
Yeah, it's an interesting society.
Mm-hmm.
Also, fucking, you're gonna really, really, really love jumping into the Christian studies because it gives the blueprint on exactly how and why American society was created. Most people don't know that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, this is they call this the modern day Babylon, but they don't call it that for nothing.
Correct.
You know? But fucking nigga girl.
Yeah.
What is the cracker wake up call?
Yeah.
I seen that video this morning and I was like, oh damn. What kind of shit is this?
Got him.
Got him. You know, it was only a matter of time, but I thought she was gonna fold. Like even Matt Walsh is like, fuck this broad, right?
Okay.
So she's getting it from all different sides, like the Groypers, the Walshes, Connie. Nobody's really fucking with her. The only people fucking with her are like just individual fans. But as far as groups, they ain't fucking with her. No. And so I got to thinking, like, yeah, she's pretty goddamn stupid. I'm gonna keep it 100. But there's potential there. Because it's at our stupidest motherfucking moments that the light shines the brightest. Whether or not you see it is really up to you. But right now, she's in, I guess you could say, social media influencer prison.
Mm-hmm.
And like you were saying last night, most motherfuckers that come out of prison, if they apply themselves, will come out Hotep.
Yes.
And so she's in the equivalent of that as far as social media influencers. It's very good likely she could come out of the other end of this Hotep.
She's on her way.
She is. But I think it's more than likely she is trying to infiltrate those quarters, right? Because again, what is the motherfucking main theme coming out of all of these different conservative quarters right now?
What?
Outsiders.
Yes.
Rebels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this not the same shit that Tucker Carlson is pulling and that Candace Owens is pulling? I'm an outsider. I'm a rebel. And if that shit is scripted, then what the fuck is this?
Oh, this a real
That's
Hotep
all.
brother.
Come the fuck on. This, more than anything, lets me know that this is a Langley op.
Yeah.
Because she's jumping right on it. Yep. I'm an outsider. It's us. I'm going to start a new group of individuals that are just normal outsiders who's just trying to fix the same goddamn script Tucker was reading off of a few months ago. Same fucking script Candace is reading off of right now, and a number of other motherfuckers. All right. Who did she touch base with when she first started? She touched base with them fucking weird ass banana in pajamas looking ass twins. But she also fucked with Crowder. And Crowder, he kicked off the whole outsider movement. If you go back, maybe a year and a half ago, he kicked that shit off. where it was like, we're not fucking with this group and we're not fucking with that group and we're over here now and we're just gonna do, and then the shit just rolled downhill from there.
Yeah.
And it don't get more operative than fucking Steven Crowder. So I'm just saying, she's ahead of the curve with most. She's ahead of the curve with a lot of these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I'll give her that. But that just means she's more tapped into the actual script.
Right.
So I've been trying to reach out and get this one in a space. Hopefully this Tuesday. I did have some communication.
Okay.
With no commitment. No commitment just yet. But
she's not gonna do it
this Tuesday. You don't think so?
Nope.
Listen, I don't think so either.
You know why?
And why is that?
Because we black.
We are that. That is for sure. She's still trying to dunk on niggas.
And so, number one, she's scared she's going to get lit up. And we're not going to do that, right? We're going to give her a fair conversation like we give everybody. But I think she still wants to have that door open so she doesn't get more cancellation. Now, if she's smart, she'll show up. If she's stupid, she won't show up.
Right.
If she's scared, she won't show up. But she still wants to leave that door open because she doesn't know, if I align myself with the Hoteps, does that add more cancellation? And she's scared of that.
Well, listen, if you're not getting fucked with by Ben and you're not getting fucked with by fucking Nick, then you've been pretty much canceled across the board. There's nowhere else for you to go but us.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
Last stop, Hotepistan.
That's right. That's right.
All aboard.
Yeah.
This
I'll
is
tell you
facts.
that. But yeah, I'm still trying, plugging away at it. We'll see what happens. I land this motherfucking plane this Tuesday on a back-to-back week. We have Sneeko one week, and we have Nigga Bitch the next week. That happens. Everybody and their mom gonna think we working for Lane.
Ain't that the truth? I'm here for it, though. I'm here for it, though. I love a good controversy. Or I should say a good conspiracy. Yeah.
Yeah, I could give you my motherfucking name, and you can look me up in the Arizona Department of Corrections web database, and you'll know goddamn well I'm not working for language.
Man, big facts, man. Hey, yo, enjoy your weekend, bro.
Yes, sir, man. Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill. Y'all know who just texted me? Said they completely disagree with me. Jonah's back. He says, I disagree with you completely and thoroughly on the one topic, and my citations include you in my disagreement. Call in, Jonah. Correct me. Martian says, hand and coat means master of the second veil in Masonic symbolism. Talk to him, Hotep, little nigga. Jonah, call in and get us right, man. If I'm wrong, get me right. Pause. Okay? Yeah, she's probably gonna fizzle out. She's gonna fizzle out. She doesn't have enough grift in her. She doesn't have grift prowess.
Jonah.
Jonah's back. What up, Jonah?
Nada. Yeah, no. I've just been I've been out in the field doing some planting and crops for 2 weeks. So been busy. No time for the call-ins. But first off, whoever this bitch is, she's more foul-mouthed white trash than I am. Fuck her. Because that ain't a classy woman. Like, I'm not saying I'm a good man, but that ain't no classy woman. Leave her to the curb.
Oh, man. Damn.
Hey, come on. I know I'm not classy, but you get away with it as a dude. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wait. Stop. Stop.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Yeah.
50 Cent's Twitter account was hacked. And the account was used to launch a Solana meme coin. Wow. Hold on, I got Inky calling me too. Inky, what's up, yo?
Peace to the God.
Hold on, I'm on the phone with Jonah. I'm gonna call you from the what's the name as soon as I get off the phone with Jonah.
All right, bet.
It's the 202 number.
Okay, bet.
All right. Jonah, correct me, man. You said I was wrong. What happened? What do you disagree with?
So I'm going to correct you by using the Patriot report when you talk about the abolishment of slavery on page 85 of the Patriot report.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull it out and let me follow you. Hold on. Let me follow you.
Yep.
Actually, let me put it up on the screen.
Yep.
Hold on.
No problem.
So you're gonna argue with me using my own work? Damn. This is exciting.
Hey, you tell us to be precise, right? You've told me to be precise, and I'm not always precise. You know, I caught you this time, and at least I think so. And that's what we do, right? You get honest conversation.
You right. Hold on. I'm gonna bring it up on the screen. Jonah about to get me right. I done fucked up, y'all. Here we go. All right, we got the Patriot report up on the screen. Page 85. I'm here. Where do you want me to go?
So the hazard circular there.
Yep.
What does it say?
It says slavery is likely to be abolished by the war power. This, I and my European friends are in favor of, for slavery is but the owning of labor and carries with it the cares of laborers, while the European plan led on by England is that capital shall control labor by controlling wages.
Yeah. Now, did they ever end slavery or did they institute financial slavery?
You got me. You got me, Jonah.
Next.
You got me.
Well, I'm going to go on.
Okay.
Next, what we all skip, and I'm going to say, hey, I'm a dumb motherfucker, you know, and all this time off in the field and listening to books, I kind of like put something together that's always escaped my opinions, right?
Yeah.
So, led by our brothers in England.
Yeah.
So if you go to your DM.
Okay, let's go to my DMs now.
I took a picture.
Damn, Jonah just scorched me with my own work. Oh my God, damn, Jonah, why you doing me like that, yo? I'm about to put this up on the screen.
That's how men do each other, right? You know, and no diddy on that, but that's how we do. You know,
you got
we
me.
keep each other honest.
All right, so it says here the Bank of England was founded as a private bank in 1694 to act as banker to the government. Today, we are the UK's central bank. This timeline looks at some of the highlights from our long history. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. I gave you the timeline. Who cares about that? But go ahead, and I just sent another picture there.
Okay,
now,
let's pull that up.
1690.
Okay.
Convocation of
the King of England, William III and second.
William of Orange, as in Netherlands, as in Amsterdam, as in Antwerp, as in Venetian bankers. So when we're saying that Britain has been doing this, no, they all races come to the revolution by the Venetian in 1690. This ain't fucking Britain leading shit.
This is also in the Patriot report. You are correct. You are correct, sir. These people are nobility from Amsterdam. That is correct.
But it goes back even further because he also became the King of Scotland. Well, the King of Scotland is and I'm not being the fucking, I'm not going on the Jays here because fuck them too, right? Just the same as the Christians and, you know, the Muslims. You know, it's all the fucking nobility running you. But now the King of Scotland is the Stone of Destiny, also known as the Stone of Jacob, right? Jacob's Ladder.
Yeah.
From the temple.
Yeah.
The King of England is sworn in on the Stone of Jacob. How are these people British?
Damn, Jonah, why you gotta hit them this hard, man? Pause.
Man, there's a reason you wear a mask when you rob a bank. Well, they're the banks are robbing us, and they're wearing the fucking mask.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
This is facts. This is facts.
Anyway. Again, that man, any woman who's more foul-mouthed than me, she's no good. End of story.
Facts.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm a great guy. I'm a decent guy, but any girl who's more foul-mouthed than me, she's a lost cause. And on that, Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill. Jonah gonna get you right. Jonah gonna get you right. He said, "Now I'm about to debunk what you said with your own work, Hotep Jesus." Now, in my defense, let me try and recover here. He done pulled the sniper rifle out on me. In my defense, I tweeted about this last night. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. It should be right about here. Nope. Here we go. Okay. So, right here, somebody says, next you'll be telling people Lincoln wasn't a great president. And I responded to that and said, Andrew Jackson is the GOAT, right? And then I said right here, Andrew Jackson freed more quote unquote slaves than Lincoln. And by that, I was talking about what he just mentioned. We'll go back. What he just mentioned, which is cited in my book, right here, where slavery is transitioning from labor to wages. Okay, this is modern slavery. So we go from, it says right here, this is my interpretation. This is my interpretation, right? So usually in my book, you'll see, you know, the source and what the source says. And then my commentary will be in parentheses. And I said, this is the introduction of the transition from physical slavery to financial slavery, right? So Jonah corrected me where I was talking about the abolition of slavery. What I should have said was, I should have been right and exact and said physical slavery. Okay, now let's get Inky on the line here. Hold on a second. We're going to call Inky. Hold on. Let's get him on the line. We got Dr. Inky here. Hold on. Let me pull the number up. Okay, here we go. Y'all have no idea how powerful this stream is today. And this, we got to take it up another level. He said, no recovery, you debunked you. Yeah, Inky, what's up, brother?
Listen, man, let me just say this before we even say anything else.
Okay.
Shout out to Jonah. Shit.
He a beast. Jonah's a beast.
Listen, back in the days, you know, I was into my music thing, and the last thing you wanted, right? Like once you got comfortable with your own stage performance and you know what you was bringing to the table and you had your little niche audience carved out in the club and all that.
Yeah.
The last thing you wanted was a nigga to go ahead of you and go bananas.
Facts.
There is no way for me to follow up that. That was listen, you can't even recover. You officially debunked you.
Yo, he killed me, yo.
That was tough right there.
With my own shit.
Man, and he called in casual than a motherfucker, didn't he?
Yo, he a smooth criminal, yo. Jonah's a smooth criminal.
I better say, hold on. So let's just go on ahead to the Patriot report and let's go on down to page 85 and I believe you said yeah, that was tough right there. But hey, if you gotta be debunked by anybody, damn it, best be yourself.
It best be myself. That's true. That's absolutely
that was
true.
Tough right there. But I just wanted to call in really and just thank you for this stream right here because I'm still working on my customs and I'm still going through customs and working on my brown card and my passport and all that, the whole Hotepistan. But this right here was this was like a class. Like you dropped 30 points. You had I'm going to say 11 assists with maybe 9, 10 rebounds. That's damn near a nice little triple-double today. You went crazy.
Damn, thank you. I appreciate that. That's an honor. Yeah. Thank you. Triple-double. I take it.
Yeah, that was clean today. You went, you did that nice and smooth and clean. The entry was clean. You came in off of the white girl who was losing her mind, and then you played the recording, which was very deceptive of you. That was a trick right there, audience. Just in case y'all didn't know, that was a trick. That was to pull in smart people because she was cooking in the beginning. She was dropping some bombs, and then she just, I don't know whether she caught a flat tire or what. I don't know what happened, but she just hit a crazy left turn.
Word, she was doing so good.
I was saying to myself, I was like, damn, she cooking. Where the fuck did I get this recording from? And then she hit that left turn, and I wish y'all could have seen me because my face was just in slow motion, turning from happy to just utter shock, awe, disappointment even. I was like, where is she go? What did she do? How did you? Those ain't Rolex diamonds. What the fuck you done to that?
You see how the deception works? How they draw you in? And if you're not informed, you would have took that whole thing and ran with it. But when you informed, you know what's real and what's fake. And like you said, you was doing good and then you caught a flat.
Man, that's that tricknology at its finest.
Mm-hmm.
The lie always has to be wrapped in as much as truth as possible for people to, for it to be quote unquote bioavailable.
Yep.
That was clean right there. But yeah, man, I just, I didn't know, like I said, I'm still going through customs. I didn't know what the Big Brain Friday, but then you clearly demonstrated what Big Brain Friday is. And then Jonah called in with a class. I don't know if that's too long for you to clip that whole little interaction, because as a teacher, that's also a student. There is nothing more beautiful than somebody quoting your work in a debate with you. That was a priceless moment right there.
Yo, you right. You right. You absolutely right.
That was a priceless moment.
It was.
Even with the moment put aside, the fact that he's clearly read that book more than once. He studied that book. He studied that book to the point where you just going in. How long ago you released that book?
Shit, what was this? 3 years ago? 4 years? Let me see.
Okay, stop right. As soon as you said shit, what was this? I got the answer. I need it right here. So that means that he studied that book to the point where now it's so embedded into his framework for the subject matter that anything can cue him off. Like he's listening to you and then got cued off. Wait a minute, did he just say, hold up, let me go find this? Because I done had those moments in my house with other people's books and shit. I'm like, wait a minute, did this nigga just, hold up, let me go open this book up. I know he didn't just say that, because in the book right here on page such and such, it says this. Hold up, wait a minute.
He said the page number and everything. That's why I knew shit was about to get serious.
That was fire right there.
He said page 85.
You had a classic show, and that right there was a classic ending. I ain't gonna hold you. I was saying in my mind, Hotep Jesus got so much shit going on right now, he's gonna forget to call me back. And so I had in my mind that I was gonna give you a few minutes and then call back in.
Okay.
But after Jonah went so crazy, I said to myself, nah, Hotep Jesus don't call you. You don't call him. Fuck that. We not going on after Jonah. Yo, that shit was heat, nigga. That nigga went crazy. But yeah, man, shout out to you. Shout out to Jonah, obviously. Shout out to the whole Hotepistan. I'm out of here, man. Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill, brother.
Yes, sir.
That's Dr. Inky. That's one of my big brothers. I started sweating when Jonah said, you know, in page 85 of the Patriot Report, I said, oh shit, what the fuck did I say on page 85? I started sweating. I started having heart palpitations. I was really concerned. I said, oh shit, I done fucked up. And Jonah quote my word. The chat know Jonah though. The chat know Jonah. When Jonah come in, you just gotta brace yourself. Jonah's a bioorganic Neuralink. Yo, something wrong with Jonah, yo. Something wrong with that fool. Jonah is the Aleister Crowley of Hotepistan, says Goldstein. Man, 9 lives, $5 super for always giving value. Thank you. Darion Garia said, I gotta go to work, but the education has been tremendous. Thank you. Matthew Aaron with the $20 super.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
Hotep University with Professor H.J. greater than college. I'm trying my best, man. I'm trying my best, you know. I just want to give people the truth. I got an allegiance to the truth. And that's why y'all don't see me on a whole lot of podcasts, because, you know, you got to read the room on these podcasts, and they got certain audiences, and their audiences are all patriots. And it's just like, you bring me up there and it's just going to piss your audience off. And they're going to be like, who's this guy? Get this guy out of here. He sounds like he's fake news. Get him off the screen. And then they start talking shit about me and making up rumors and all types. They get really upset. But I have a allegiance to the truth. Daryl Johnson, Jordan, Steven, thank you for this for the Cash Apps. The Cash Apps are definitely appreciated. Thank you very, very much for the Cash Apps. We got another caller waiting now. Ohio Tep. Tari got a call in. He said, does that mean your report is changing? No, it's not that my report is changing. When I said slavery was abolished, what I should have said was physical slavery. And I didn't say that. And you guys know how particular I am about being right and exact. But in my own work, I said here, this is the introduction of the transition from physical slavery to financial slavery. So technically, slavery was never abolished. It just transformed. So Jonah was correcting me because I said slavery was abolished. And he's like, Hotep Jesus, you said slavery was never abolished. It simply transformed. So I'm not changing my report. Jonah's just keeping me on point with my rhetoric. You know what I'm saying? And he fucking sourced me. Like he literally like sourced me. Like how'd you do that so fast, Jonah? How do you even know what page the shit was on in my own work? Like, how'd you do that? How'd you do that? That was absolutely amazing. This is 2021, July 24th, 2021. July 24th, 2021, this book was published. So this is 3 years old. Coming on, its third birthday coming up for the Patriot Report. So and today I was doing some research, and I'm gonna do a new edition. I'm gonna clean this up and then redo it. I'm gonna get a whole new cover. I'm gonna take the introduction out, and then it's just gonna be the meat pause. And and then I have to make some there's some grammatical errors I want to clean up in the second edition. Enki said, and here go the Democrats with insane inflation, so we must work 3 times as hard for the same lifestyles. Exactly. Wait till I have the political conversation with Dr. Enki. That's going to be crazy. And don't forget, you guys gotta subscribe to American Healer right here. Go subscribe to this channel. I'll be talking to Dr. Enki tonight at 8 p.m. live on his channel. So go subscribe to this channel right here. Okay. See right here?
American Healer.
Yeah, American Healer. as you can see here, okay, now my notifications are on. All right, boom.
I'm following.
I didn't even know you could do that. Yeah, American Healer. It's on the screen. You guys will see that, and you'll see Inky here with all of his lectures, Black Theology, Freemasonry. Yeah, the whole nine. Okay, so make sure y'all go check that out. Tari, what's up, bro?
What up, man? What up? Shit.
What's happening? What's happening?
First off, shout out to Jonah.
Man, shout out Jonah.
You know, he the funny thing is that last little tidbit he dropped in there, you know,
about William of Orange.
No, that Stoner Jacob tidbit.
Yeah,
he was talking about. I was talking to somebody about that the other day, and I was blanking on exactly why. I was like, don't the royal family and some of them over there got some kind of Jewish heritage or something? I was blanking on what it was, and he always bring that gem back around for me. That's where I need to look.
Jonah gonna keep you on point, man. He got the info.
It's always on point.
Wait till Hotepistan is manifested in the physical world, and we got Inky and Dr. Ricks in the lab, and then we got Jonah in the library.
Oh yeah. Real Hotep scholars right there.
We got Strong Dad over in the gym, in the gymnasium. Man.
It'd be like a university. Hotep University.
Asaru Ray Seeker. Inky is pseudo as hell. Nah, he's just over your head. That's really what that is. He's over your head. That's what he is. What you got for us today, Tari?
You know, when you were playing that little clip from Miss Lily White.
Nigga girl.
Yeah, you know, if you want to go viral on the right, all you gotta do is piss off the niggas.
Yeah, you piss off black people, you go viral on the right. Yeah.
Yeah, we knew where that was gonna go. But I do like what you said when you were talking about, you know, we're just normal people, whatever. I think that is one of I think that's one of the biggest issues a lot of people have today. Is I don't know if it's what I would consider some kind of false sense of humility. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like people, they have to, you know, see themselves as normal and refer to themselves as normal, or even to everybody that thinks like them. When in reality, you know, if you think that what you're thinking about is exceptional and there's not a lot of people doing it, you inherently are admitting that it's not normal people. You're not normal people, right? You're somewhat awake, right? I mean, dare to say woke, right? But it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to refer to yourself as normal or, you know, average. You know, I got irritated with somebody the other day when they were trying to convince me to do something because they were like, you know, well, it's kind of weird for the average person doesn't do that. And I'm like, well, it's like, first of all, I don't give a fuck about what average people do. Nigga.
Right. You talking about what average people do? No, miss me with that shit.
Nigga, I'm not trying to be average. So you just pay me a compliment. You're not gonna change my mind using that. I think that's people just have this wrong idea of what being normal and average is. Like you normally want to seek to be above average, be beyond normal, because I mean you can get very comfortable and lazy, just being, oh, I want to live the normal day to day, just do whatever, and then you get blindsided by anything. You're never prepared. You're not doing anything exceptional, right? You're not even really challenging yourself if you're not trying to do something exceptional, something out of the norm, right?
Yeah, you got to be exceptional.
So I just want to tell all my hoteps, man, just remain extraordinary, right? Just remember that you are exceptional, all right? Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill. Message. You are exceptional. That's a hell of a message, man. Man, what an episode today. What an episode. Data says my patriotism is rooted in spiritualism and is a stronger foundation than patriotism. Not mad at that. Checked out the link for the book. Thank you, Interstellar. I think that Yale's attempt to have a lecture was an attempt to further discussion. Sad it didn't happen. I knew it wasn't going to happen when a lady asked me to come to Yale. I'm like, lady, after they start Googling me, man, that shit's not gonna go through. And I think I think she got back to me and said, I couldn't get it approved. Some shit like that. I can't remember the last time I logged into my LinkedIn account. I'm trying to find that message. Oh, I can search messages. Hold on. Let me see if I can search my messages with the keyword Yale. Oh, here it. I found it. I want to bring this on the screen without doxing the lady. Oh no, this was from my other book. Oh. Yeah. She never got back to me. October 2nd, 2019. So the letter reads, this is on LinkedIn. All I did was go to my LinkedIn messages and I typed in, let me see if I can do it this way. No, it's still going to dox her. She's a PhD RN in HTCP-A at a Yale. She says, hi, Brian or Hotep. I heard your interview on JRE and was mind blown away in a good way. Thanks for your message, work, mission, and keep up the awesome work. Also for historical information on the slave trade makes total sense. Your discussion with Rogan has certainly enlightened my brain about the use of Twitter. Now I see that this should be part of life and strategy for researchers and for those who want to make a difference. This is my nurse motto out there. Sadly and admittedly, I know nothing about how to use Twitter. So this is about my book, Dominate Twitter. But as I ask colleagues at Yale School of Nursing, I realize I am not the only one. And this is where my manifestation takes me. I wanted to reach out to you and connect. I'm not sure if we can invite you to YSN to give a talk/lecture, whatever, but surely I would like to put these ideas out there in the universe. I seem to make things happen. Okay, so this is a lady that says, I make things happen. And I am no longer afraid to ask and pursue things that I intuitively feel make sense. So I'm not sure how this goes. How is your schedule? Do you even entertain these ideas? How much you charge for speaking? Do you even want to deal with academia? Rolls eyes. But those could be details that can be worked out. Plus, they say, when there's a will, there's a way, right? In the meantime, I have requested Yale Library to order your book. PhD at Yale said my book, Dominate Twitter, should be in Yale Library. Okay. She says they should cover travel. Because I responded, I said, yeah, I'm down. Sounds great. Let's do it. Your timing is excellent. And she says, yes. She's excited. Yes, exclaim. So if you didn't get my book, Dominate Twitter, it's still relevant. Some of it is outdated, but the premise of it all is very, very relevant. Yeah, damn near pandemic. This is pandemic, right? So maybe this lecture at Yale didn't happen because of the pandemic. So I will give Yale the benefit of the doubt. It says, yes, they sure cover travel and maybe some honoraria too. So now I'm like, oh shit, I might get an honorary degree from Yale, make grandma proud. RIP grandma. She says, as long as you are not Yale faculty, blah, blah, blah. What's with these academics not being allowed to even get a mug or something small for the effort and time to talk a group of people? I just submitted a grad student grant yesterday to Yale for the organization of a colloquium series in which I wanted to cover the use of social media in research. We have a doctor here who did some Interesting qualitative data analysis using tweets about cancer support from and to patients. So invited her to this portion. Not sure of combining, let's say, the two of you, the best idea, because I think you deserve a whole section there. But my brain cogs are moving, so maybe I have one of 8 classes be about Twitter and have you present. Stay tuned. I also applied to be the organization committee for the 2020 Yale Healthcare Conference. I have an interview on Wednesday with them, and we'll pitch the idea of bringing this on topic. Wish me luck. I am manifesting in the meantime. Anyways, I would love to make this happen. The seed is planted. Happy to talk or brainstorm. So I gave her my contact information. Okay. Quick update. Colloquium has been funded. Czech director of my PhD program was welcoming the idea of us bringing in and inviting non-academium experts. There is hope. Maybe we can set up a Zoom talk or something. Can be I know everybody beyond busy nowadays, blah, blah, blah. Let me know if you're open to this. October 3rd, 2019. I'm down. Let's do it. Never heard back. I'm going to message her right now. So this is what I be talking about. Like, people be talking about academia. I'm like, academia be trying to holler at me and bring me there. And I'm down. But, you know, by the time it gets to the university and it get to the heads, they be like, oh, I don't know. We're going to bring this nigga in. He's a little controversial. So your boy was almost at Yale. Skull and Bones, 322, all of that. I almost got inducted into the Illuminati.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
Yeah, she was gassing heavy, boy. She was gassing heavy. And then there's another university, I forget, but another university picked up. There was the University of, I forget what it was, what university, but they were in a sociology psychology course. And a friend of mine sent it to me because his brother was going to school. And he said, look what's in the curriculum. And inside the curriculum course was my book. Like, they had to read my book as part of their course curriculum. That shit blew my mind. So when I tell y'all, go get my books, Yale be talking about this shit. Other universities, including their curriculum, I'm not blowing smoke. I did something right. I don't know what I did right, but I did something right. So go to hotepjesus.com, get my books. Dr. Inky, get his books. When I tell you get something, just fucking go get it, man, if you want to be smarter. Anyway, I'm about to refresh myself so I can get ready for my interview with Dr. Inky tonight on American Healer channel. And J.A. said, fresh and fit could never. Bloodstep said she didn't even read his book. She just heard his stance on female orgasm, fresh and fit, and had to rizz him up. Stop it. Stop it. Hey, man. Shout out to the fam that blessed me with the supers. Goldstein, Non-Lies, Darion, Matthew, Jabari, Francisco, Zulu. He said they always say Civil War wasn't about slavery, and at the same time, they would say 500K white people died to free the end of slavery. Makes no sense. Yeah. Straw Dad, Kelson with the big super, Andre K with the gifted memberships, and Kamar Daniel. Hey, man, subscribe, like, share button. Tell somebody about me. Let's keep growing. Let's keep growing, Hotepistan. I'm out of here, man. Be well, stay merry. Tell somebody in your family that you love them. And as always, Hotep and Bill.
Welcome to the 4th annual Grifties and the first ever live Grifty Awards. And now for your hosts, Uncle Hotep and Hotep Jesus.
Yo, no George, but I can't even breathe in this joint.
That's fucked up. He working on that Coon of the Year award.
Black people, am I right? We've got some great categories tonight, including athletes.
We'll say what's up to your dad.
Season's COVID-19.
Who did you want?
Hamlin?
Hamlin's a sleeper. Hamlin's a sleeper. Female, musical, celebrity, people's political grifty, the Hall of Fame, and a surprise category.
Y'all see we professional, we got the teleprompter and shit. And of course, the one everyone is waiting for, Grifter of the Year Award.
From podcasts to movies.
DJ Protocol.
Yeah, DJ, that's the time to do it.
This is not a grift. I really think Lil Nas X is a gay demon.
How dare you?
Unlike most modern award shows, none of these women have penises.
Women shouldn't speak anyways.
Y'all picked the blackest room for a black. Paint the walls white so I can see y'all next time.
All coons look alike to me. Some of you white people too. Some of y'all look like you came from 8 Mile.
We're halfway through. No one's been shot yet.
But I'm going to say at the Grifty Awards, there's only one person more arrogant, more self-assured than me, and that's Hotep Jesus.
Grifter of the Year.
Clap it up for old Uncle Hotep.
Hopefully my kids will watch this and be inspired and stuff like that.
Fuck them kids.
I'm looking for my wallet. I'm like, oh, thank God he didn't take it. Thank God.